And we're off. Here we go. Another round 1 matchup. Winner moves on to play Stevie. Loser will move to the loser's bracket. Everyone gets a second chance to redeem themselves. This will be a great match. I just know it. I'm gonna give one quick refresh to both streams. Make sure they're as accurate as possible. Alrighty. So, for those of you who haven't seen Pit before, I believe most of you have, but for those who haven't, the Pit of 100 Trials is essentially a much shorter category than any percent. Any percent consists of just beating the full game of Super Paper Mario as fast as possible, while the Pit, we actually only go through Chapter 1 and the very start of Chapter 2. And then we go straight to the flip side Pit and beat that as fast as possible. These runs average out to be about an hour and a half long on average for the most part. Could be more, could be less. The Pit especially is going to be a very fun tournament-style showcase because of how luck-dependent the entire Pit is. We saw it yesterday. We're going to continue to see it all throughout the tournament. It is just full of so much RNG. It is a lot of fun. But yeah. Right now, both runners, though, are going through... Thank you, Jared's Giants. Thank you for that. Both runners right now are going through Prologue, pretty much just mashing 1 and 2 as fast as possible, while you do absolutely nothing. Love to see it. Oh my god. Oh. Thank you everyone. I appreciate it. Oh man. Real quick, anyone who's interested, I do have a command for it now. I hope it works. Okay, it does. So that's the bracket. So far, we've had 2 finished matches. We saw Cats and Sloth yesterday. Again, an insanely close match. It was a lot of fun. Cats ended up winning by just about 10 to 15 seconds. Phantom won his match by, I believe it was like 3 minutes, I think? 2 or 3 minutes. Over Hydra King, but again, the winner of this match today will go on to play Stevie. And that should be a fun match as well. But right now, as both of these runners are going through Prologue, we really, I can't say it enough, these runners, their PBs are within 30 seconds of each other, I believe. 30 to 40 seconds. We just have some incredible matchups out the gate. Alright, as you see right here, both runners are receiving the first Pure Heart. Every Pure Heart that we get will need to be put in the pillar to unlock the door. You'll see Reed move to the right here, or to the left, you know. Commentator can't tell directions at all. But instead of going down that elevator, we could just jump off the left edge. And just fall right next to the Pure Heart pillar. And it saves actually a incredible amount of time, because the elevator cutscenes are long. So here we are. Actually, you know what? I'll do something different this time. I meant to do it yesterday. Let me see if I can set this up. Okay, I need to set this for like 10... I'll do like 10 minutes. I'm actually going to make a prediction. Hopefully I remember to... Hopefully I actually remember to pick the winner at the end of this. I should. But I meant to do it yesterday. We'll see how it goes. I don't know how many channel points everyone has, but go ahead and throw them in. Whoever you think's going to win. Reed and Manta, again, literally PBs within 40 seconds of each other. This is anyone's match. Should be a lot of fun. Big shoutouts to Jared's Giants for eating his lunch. I'm real proud of you, son. Congratulations. Nice, let's go. Yeah, I gotta add some more channel point rewards in the future. Reed is headed into Chapter 1 with a good, I want to say about a good 8-second lead here. Looking really nice. So, as you see, both runners are on English version. I mentioned this yesterday, but you're probably going to see most runners, except maybe a few runners at the top level, choose to run on English for this category. The Japanese version is faster, especially on Wii U. It's the fastest version of the game. However, there is a small chance of a crash during any loading zone. It's a pre-caching error. There's no fix to it as far as we know, but you're probably going to see most runners opt to play on English to avoid that. The only time it would probably be beneficial to play on the JP version is if a runner is going for Darkroom GBS. Which you can technically do that on English as well if you have the right version. Alright. Heading into 1-1, we are about to see probably what most people don't realize is one of the most important parts of this entire run. And that is the 1-1 grind. It doesn't look like it at first, because it's just a group of like 30 squiglets all put together. However, depending on how many points you get, it can really affect your run. And we saw a little bit of an effect yesterday. There is an RNG block where you can either get a slow flower or a fast flower. And that can gain you a lot of points because you can get a ×3 multiplier on the grind. Yeah, it is really like, it really affects the run a lot. Again, you need to be at 60k points to not soft lock in room 25, and potentially not soft lock in room 19 if your RNG's bad. But you'll hopefully see both runners come out of the grind with at least 25k or above. Did you know that the O-Chunks fight in 1-3 took Mr. Guy 20 hits, while it only took Saru 3? Didn't know that. Thank you. Alright, so this guy right here, this is Bestovius, and it's going to give Mario the ability to flip in 3D. It's actually, like, extremely useful in this game, and you're going to see Mario be used a lot in the pit. 3D is useful for a couple different things. In the pit, every room doesn't have blocks in 3D, so you can pretty much just follow the bottom at any time if you flip. Thank you, JGZ. I appreciate it. Reed got an egg. Can we see some eggs in the chat, please? We actually saw one yesterday. Sloth got one, I think. Reed is literally on the perfect line there. Love to see that. Manta is... Okay, so I think both runners skipped the coin block there. I think Sloth opted to get it yesterday. But here we are. Coming up right here is the big squiglet grind. Reed's actually going to go back for this RNG block. Can't hit it. Oh, and he gets the ghost room. That's unfortunate. Alright. This is the important part. He fell off. I think he can save this. It's okay. Nice. It's looking good. Manta got a super shroom, I believe. Oh, this is... Oh, man. Okay, that's still pretty good. 26k is manageable. It's not ideal. I think Reed could have gotten like 32k there, but unfortunately just fell off towards the end. Manta, I think, fell off a couple of times. Hopefully he can at least get the 20k. That's really what you're looking for here. Nice. Okay. So he is a little behind on points. Manta is. 21k to 26k. I think I said... I don't know the exact stats, but I think 25k is pretty manageable. 21k, you'll probably have to pick up a couple extra heals to get a couple 2,000 points here and there. So we will see Manta be doing that all throughout Chapter 1. Yeah, 60k, you need to be at 60k for sure by room 25, but if you get bad RNG, you won't be able to kill the enemy in room 19 if he has the key. Except with a shell shock, I believe. Jared's Giants having a moment in chat right now. Okay, nice. So I don't think we're going to see either runner... Well, actually we might. I don't know. We might see either runner go to the 1-2 shop. I know we did yesterday. I believe both runners went there. But it's really... Especially nowadays, for top runners, it's kind of optional. It really depends on, you know, if you have enough coins to buy certain items. It is very helpful going to that shop because you can get... it's probably one of the cheapest shops in the entire game. You can get Shroom Shakes as well as Fire Bursts, which are both very useful items in the pit. It looks like Reed will be getting Cloud Coins and going to the shop. Actually, he's definitely going to the shop. What am I saying? He's going for LSJ. I forgot. So, completely forgot to mention that. Reed goes for a trick called Life Shroom Jump here, which is another form of Green Bridge Skip that was seen a while back. Manta's getting Cloud Coins. I don't think Manta will be going for Green Bridge Skip. I think Manta will just go to the shop, buy a couple of coins. Yep. So as we see, Reed is draining his health right now. He's going to get down to 1 HP. So, Reed did this about a week ago on this channel, just in a casual pit race. However, I don't believe we've seen LSJ in a tournament before, which is another status that Reed could hold here today. We'll see. So yeah, he's going to get down to 1 HP, and essentially what a Life Shroom will do, if you die, if you get to 0 HP with a Life Shroom in your inventory, you will essentially be saved. You'll regain 5 health, but you will be stuck in midair for about like 2 or 3 seconds while your health refills. And at the tail end of that animation, there's 1 frame where you can press A or 2, so you can either flip back into 2D, or you can just jump, and you can cross the gap, the green bridge gap, really, and just hit the star block, and that saves about, if you get it first try, it saves a good, like, 1.5 to 2 minutes. Yeah, definitely Reed's gonna save, because it saves so much time to the point where if Reed were to get it, like, even 3rd try, I think he really would not be that far behind at all. They might be just straight up even. Yeah, it's an incredibly difficult trick. It's a 1-frame trick to press either A and 2. Looks like he's going to... Okay, yeah, he's gonna go in this room. If he flips in 3D here, there's actually a bunch of coins, so this leads me to believe he might be, he might have enough. I assume he's just going to buy items for the pit. With this, he's about 99 coins, I believe. So the Life Shroom here, Manta's buying some Shroom Shakes, but the Life Shroom costs 50 coins here. Alrighty, so Manta is out, and you're going to see Manta take the normal route, which is going in this 3rd house and going through, solving a puzzle at the end here, and getting Thoreau, which is the first pixel. But Reed, however, after purchasing all the items as well as a Life Shroom, I believe he's going to get a couple Fire Bursts and then just stock up on Shroom Shakes. But Reed will be going for LSJ right after hitting the save block outside here. So Reed will be skipping everything that you're going to see Manta do right here, which includes going here, getting throw. He's actually going to do Dark Room LSJ, which is really cool. Nice, hitting that save block. So he can use Shop Clip right here. I might have to flip, yeah, that's unfortunate. He's just going to wait here. Reed's got the strats. Knows exactly what to do. And by maneuvering in the Dark Room, he can set himself up perfectly. Dies in midair. Oh, he did not get it. That's unfortunate. Looks like he's going to reset and attempt it again. So, once again, because he hit the save block there, he can attempt this pretty much as many times as he wants. And he's definitely going to. I think if he gets it second try, he'll still be ahead of Manta. Manta has Thoreau finished up the cutscene there, and is heading back to talk to Old Man Watch-It. So here we go. Now we see Life Shroom with the room loaded. Shop Clip pretty much just clips out of the shop, and you won't see that room loaded fully. So Reed will die in midair, attempt it again. Did not get it. That's unfortunate. I still think he can probably be ahead if he gets it third try. It's just unfortunate. Again, it's a one-frame trick. It's incredibly difficult to pull off. But I believe Reed can do it. Manta heading to Green's house. This is the last cutscene that Manta will have to go through, and Green will kick him out of the house. Reed lining up for the next attempt for LSJ. Gets the distance. Ah, did not get it. That's unfortunate. I think he's going to go for it. Oh, he might be doing the normal route now. That's alright. I can't blame him. Yeah, it's a painful trick, man. It's incredibly difficult. Manta will be finishing up. So, Reed will be doing everything that Manta just did. And Manta will go into 1-3, but I will say, it's not over yet. Again, the pit, even though it might seem like Reed's behind like a lot right here, there is absolutely a chance to catch up before the pit, and definitely catch up in the pit. The pit is incredibly RNG dependent. You can get some really, really terrible strings of RNG in the pit. You can also get some really good strings of RNG in the pit. Manta's doing this miniature grind right here, just to get some extra points, extra coins. Very nice. Looks like Manta might still be a little behind on points. Again, fell off the 1-1 grind there. Manta will be throwing this squiglet on that train. Oh, unfortunately fell in the quicksand there. He'll just get to shoot another coconut here. But essentially you're going to jump on the coconut, cross the gap just like that. You'll actually see Reed do an alternate, slightly faster version of that by doing a 3D double jump in midair. Which is really cool. We don't get to see that too often. I think it's a really cool strat. Alright. So here's the first boss that we're going to see. I think we only see, like, a total of 3 bosses, I think, in this whole run. But this is O-Chunks. Just want to count Bleck's minions. This fight can actually be a big pain. Essentially, the strat is to grab Chunks with Thoreau right off the start, throw him in the right corner, as you see here, and just get a bunch of multi-bounce jumps, as well as shaking the Wii Remote when you're in midair to do some stylish attacks. It'll just stall Mario in midair enough. Oh. Okay, there we go. That is true, yeah. So, Item drops do have a very important role in this run, actually. You're going to see a lot of item drops, I'd imagine, in the pit. Just because we killed such a large amount of enemies, there's just a vast amount of chances for an RNG drop. And a Mighty Tonic or a Hot Sauce will double your attack power for a short amount of time. And you can use them strategically and actually get through a couple rooms in the pit very quickly. Manta's attempting Ice Turbo Skip right there. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get it. That platform got in the way. Just taking the alternate route. Reed is in 1-3. Manta is in the final room here. And I believe we'll see if he goes for Blue Pedestal Skip or Star Block Clip. Nope, we'll opt to just start the cutscene here. But there is, I believe Reed's going to go for it. There is a clip that you can do here. Just by an interesting property that this game has, you can sort of walk on a plane, flip back into 2D, and then hit the star block. It's pretty cool. So I think we're going to see Reed line up for this, this 3D double jump right here. Unfortunately, didn't get it. I think he's going to go for the normal coconut bounce. That's alright. It's very, very difficult. Gonna get some extra points there. So Manta is actually catching up in points. Very good to see. He's at 39k. Oh, Manta's actually gonna go ahead and grab this life shroom right here. So there's a life shroom in a chest that is all the way behind the wall right there. And that life shroom is actually incredibly useful to have in the pit. It's just extremely nice to have that backup. Again, when you die at any point in the pit, you won't have to worry about it. The life shroom will save you, give you 5 HP. It's incredibly useful because anything can go wrong in the pit. Okay, nice. Reed defeated O-Chunks there. We'll see if either runner goes for key early. Key early is a pretty difficult strat in 1-4. Saves about 20 seconds if you can do it very fast. Looks like Manta will opt to go for the key. These boulders are very annoying. Oh, I think Reed fell off the platform. Oh no. He should be able to save it. Yeah, he's got the cycle right here. That's an unfortunate time loss. Okay, Manta's got the key. Gonna progress through 1-4. We'll see a Star Block Clip or Blue Pedestal Skip. Thing I was talking about earlier right here. Essentially, Reed is gonna move slightly to the left. And you can still attempt this again. He's just looking to land on a very small plane. There we go. And just by continuing walking forward, you can flip while you're right under the star block. Very nice. Alright, no worries, Phoenix. All good. Alright, so for the rest of 1-4, I think Reed might go for key early, we'll see. But for the rest of 1-4 on Manta's screen, essentially it's just, in every single room there's going to be a puzzle that you have to complete, and it's just completing it as fast as possible until you get to the Fractal fight. Oh, Manta just missed that throw hit there, but does reveal the final staircase, and he's going to be heading into the Fractal fight. We'll see if Reed goes for key early here. Looks like he might. Yeah, he definitely is. Gets the clip first try, very nice. And if he can just maneuver on this ledge, which it looks like, if he taps to the right, there we go. Very nice. That's definitely going to save him some time. That trick is very, very difficult. Alrighty. So this is the second boss in the game, and we actually see pretty much a carbon copy of this boss fight right at the end of the pit. This is Fractal. It's a pretty easy boss, but the main thing that both runners are going to have to worry about with these types of boss fights is just being able to jump from the end of Fractal's tail back to his head again. It'll skip a 40-second cutscene that you have to watch on the ground. Yeah, that is true. It's very easy. The Ragtail fight is much easier because you have Peach to float over. However, right now we don't have Peach, so we're going to be jumping with Mario. Right now, Manta's in the lead. I'd say by a good, probably a good minute and a half. But it's definitely still not over. The pit will absolutely change everything. I just know it. Just because of the amount of RNG that both runners will have to go through. So essentially, you'll see Manta flip into 3D right here, and Fractal is going to come right towards him, and we're just going to jump on Fractal's back. He's actually going to do the 3D... Nice. The clip. If you take damage in midair, you can actually go right through Fractal's head. It's like slightly faster, I believe. Alright, so you'll see Manta just has to get 3 hits to Fractal's antenna. He's going to grab another enemy and jump from the tail. Hopefully make it back up to the head. Nice. And we'll just have to do that one more time. Ragtail is a lot more difficult. The enemies on Ragtail's head will actually do 10 damage, which is very dangerous. Even though we go through the entirety of the pit, it is very dangerous. And you do have to do 10 hits to Ragtail's antenna, unlike Fractal's antenna only needing 3. Yeah, Reed is definitely catching up. Alright, very nice fight for Manta. Manta's gonna head into the final cutscene here. I'll give a quick refresh on the runner streams real quick. Alrighty. So Manta is going to be heading out of Chapter 1 here, and this next section is basically what is known as a pre-chapter segment, or an Enter 2 segment. Essentially, there's a lot of different cutscenes we have to go through. About literally 8 to 9 minutes of cutscenes before we... Oh, actually, Reed is... Nice, he got it. So Reed is actually doing a 3D flip strat, which saves a decent amount of time. He just has to line up at the right position here, and then flip 2 times, and then hopefully if he gets pushed far enough... Ah, I didn't make it the second time. It's a very difficult strat, but it still definitely saved time over Manta. Just getting it that one time. Very nice fight. Oh. Okay, Manta's heading into the first cutscene in Enter 2. There are a lot of them. There's a lot of backtracking. Right here, we're playing as Peach. This is in Complex Castle. We're actually in the 8-1 level, even though it's not apparent at this time. But we just have to traverse through this cutscene. So Peach actually has a pretty cool ability. She can actually float over large gaps using her parasol, and she can actually duck by holding the down button on the Wii Remote. And by ducking, she's actually temporarily invincible. It's kind of broken. We probably won't see it here too much in the pit. Peach is only used in, like... She's really only required in one section, and that's in 2-1 to float over a gap. Unfortunately, Mario is a slightly faster character, just in general. As well as just having the 3D abilities is extremely useful in the pit. Reed is also in Enter 2, and he's not nearly as far behind as he was after missing LSJ. He's actually catching up a lot, which is good to see. Yeah, he did. He went for LSJ, unfortunately wasn't able to pull it off, so just opted to do the rest of 1-2 normally. It's a very difficult trick. He's actually done it before on this channel, and is getting pretty good at it. Just, some days LSJ just won't work. Alrighty. So Manta has completed that Peach cutscene, and is now back as Mario on the Flipside Tower. There's actually going to be a sequence here where, due to prior knowledge of the game, we can just save some free time. Essentially, Peach will be... she was teleported at the end of that cutscene. She's actually in Flipside right now. You'll first see Manta talk to Merlin, and by going up to find Peach, Merlin will actually ask us to cook a spicy soup from the Flipside chef. But we're actually just going to do that first before actually using the return pipe and going to Peach. That way we just save some free time on backtracking. So instead of following them, Manta will go off to the left and down this elevator. And essentially to cook a spicy soup, it's just giving a fire burst, which we collected one of those in Bestovius' house. Alrighty. Manta will use the return pipe, go to wake up Peach, and then we will be in the final cutscene of this segment, which is very, very long. But that's alright, because we're actually getting very close to starting the pit. I mentioned this earlier, but this whole route differs from any percent right as we get into 2-1. So, normally when we get into chapter 2-1 in any percent, we'll go for a trick called Boomer Skip. However, going for that, doing it successfully, and then completing the level is actually slower than just talking to Boomer normally. So, we will grab Boomer, who is going to be a very useful pixel all throughout the pit, and then both runners will be off.
Yeah. Hmm.
Alrighty, so Peach will join our party here, and Merlin just gave us the old key, which will unlock more a flip side for us to explore. So, even though we're Peach right now, we're actually immediately going to switch to Mario, flip into 3D to use that key he just gave us. And Manta will go down this pipe, and then flip one more time at the middle of this room. And we're actually going to see a quick trick right here. Manta's going to grab one of these squiglets that are standing right in front of the pillar. And by tossing them into a small ledge, we can actually just jump on them and get up to the pillar. The normal way you're supposed to do this is go down all the way to the bottom of this room and use Peach on these blocks to just float over. But we can actually just do this, and there we go. There we go. Manta using the return pipe, and then we are off into chapter 2-1. Alrighty. So normally 2-1 revolves around Merle's mansion. However, we're actually going to see the first level of this, which is Gloam Valley. It's actually a really cool level. I like it a lot. So I'll give a quick refresh here. There we go. I think Reed has actually caught up a lot through Manta, which there's a lot of points to catch up. You don't see it, but because there's so much text, actually faster mashing will save a ridiculous amount of time. Just because this game loves to talk to you way too much. So if you mash 1 and 2 very fast, you'll actually catch up a lot. So some nice jumps there by Manta. Unfortunately, Reed missed that that squiglet jump. Does get it. Very nice. So Manta will be getting this key And in the next room, I believe Manta's going to attempt Goomba Jump. But essentially, there's 2 tricks in this next room, which will save a lot of time. Normally, you're meant to go all the way to the right of the room and then go through a couple cutscenes to get up top, but you can actually pretty much cheese it very easily. Almost got it. He's gonna attempt it again, actually. It's those PAL pills, man. That's unfortunate. But yeah, the easy way to do it is literally just go to the right in 3D. It's pretty much free 3D manipulation that the developers did not think of at all. So, there you go. We can get up top and skip some pretty long cutscenes. So Reed is also now in 2-1. Manta's only a couple rooms ahead now, I believe. Oh, having some trouble with these enemies. They can be very annoying. So I believe Manta has 2 rooms to go. This room right here is pretty easy, just a bunch of enemies. You actually do have to watch out. These PAL pills can sometimes screw you over. They can sometimes kick a Koopa shell a direction that you don't mean it to be kicked, and you get hit in the face. Reed actually did a really cool trick right there. I love to see that, but essentially you could skip flipping into 3D in that room. It saves an actual good amount of time if you get it first try, but just by taking damage on that paratroopa, you can get up to the ledge that you need to be at. So Manta's on his way to get Boomer, just hitting a blue switch in 2D there. It's just invisible to the eye. And then by killing this enemy, we'll reveal the chest for Boomer. Unfortunately, I had to get that walking cutscene. That's unfortunate. So again, this is where the route differs from many percent. Normally you'd see runners be attempting Boomer skip here with the shell shock, but it actually is just faster to talk to Boomer here, which is a little surprising because Boomer has like the longest pixel text, I think, in the entire game. Oh, Reed got a Peachy Peach drop, but won't be able to get it. That's actually unfortunate. It's a really good drop to get early on, but I think both runners are actually pretty good on heals right now. They both were able to get a lot of different heals in the 1-2 shop. So Manta is using the return pipe, has Boomer, and is on his way to enter the pit. He's actually going to the left here. Down the elevator, interesting. I think it's... I don't know if this is faster or not. I think most runners you'll see just jump off that right edge and go down. But it depends on... I will mention there's a new strat, at least new to this tournament. It's been around for a couple months, I believe, but you'll see Manta going for it. We'll be closer to this elevator here. Normally, most runners in the past have flipped into 3D and taken the longer route to get to the pit. However, there is a strat here by taking the elevators down, which is the normal way you're supposed to get to the pit. You can actually just throw Boomer on a ledge. It's a very precise Boomer throw. But if Manta does it well, it will save a lot of time. So Manta's going to line up for it. Right past the gate. Go for the jump. Fortunately, did not get it. Gonna keep attempting this. Ooh, unfortunately, isn't getting the height. It really is a precise throw. We actually saw Cats was gonna have a good, like, 40-second lead going into the pit, but this exact thing happened to her, and both Sloth and Cats entered the pit at exactly the same time. Oh, and unfortunately, this might actually be a crazy opportunity for Reed to catch up. We might see the same thing that we saw yesterday. Manta does get it. Very nice, but Reed is not that far behind now. Go ahead and refresh as Manta is entering the pit. And Reed is not that far out. Reed might be about, like, only 40 seconds behind. Yeah, that throw is incredibly difficult. Manta does have a nice room immediately. So, I'll go ahead and talk about the pit really quick before we get too far into it. Essentially, I mentioned this before, but there's a lot of RNG. There's a lot of luck-dependent things in this pit, which are the following. So, essentially, you're going to enter every single room, and the concept is that one enemy in this room has the key. It's completely random which enemy has it. However, for each runners in every room that they enter, the goal is just to kill as many enemies as fast as possible and find the key, and then leave. So, the RNG elements are obviously which enemy is holding the key. That is completely random. Item drops are also random. You'll see those a lot throughout the pit. The entry and exit door placements have common locations, however they are random, so you can spawn in at a different point in one room as Reed enters. Manta is actually only 3 rooms ahead now. That is pretty crazy. Manta having some troubles with these springs, but as I said, there's common door entry and exit locations. And the final bit of RNG, certain enemy locations can also be random, but you will see common patterns. The only fully non-RNG thing about the pit is every single room that you enter will have the exact same room layout. So every time that you enter room 6, for example, it will always have the same exact layout. So you can actually memorize, you know, if you want to memorize 100 different rooms, you can. You can actually memorize how to play each room depending on where you spawn in, which is pretty cool. Obviously, another thing to keep note as we go through the pit is the levels as well. Both runners will need to be at 60k before room 25, and ideally would like to be 60k level before room 19. There is a chance of a soft lock in room 19, however, you can get out of it by using a shell shock. Room 25, however, I believe you cannot get out of it. I don't actually know if there's an item that can kill the chain chomp. It's a very nice key for Reed right there. Manta is in room 7. I believe Reed's going to be in, like, room 5? 4 or 5, something like that. 5, very nice. So he's actually in the process of catching up. These first 10 rooms aren't too bad. The pit is sort of like, as you go further into it, it gets more and more difficult, and you can lose more and more time as there's more and more enemies placed in every single room. However, even though it might not seem like it, the first 10 can actually be very nice to you. There's still RNG elements in every room, even though these enemies are very simplistic. Reed is actually catching up. Manta is not having some good RNG right here. Does find the key, though. And is going to opt to kill a couple extra enemies. That is a good thing to do, honestly. Both Reed and Manta will have to keep an eye on their level. Manta's in room 9 here. I believe Reed's going to be in room 7, I think, coming up here. Oh, room 8. Wow. Reed's actually catching up. As you see on Manta's screen, every 10 rooms, there will be a chest which has a catch card in it. We're not going to collect those. However, every 10 rooms, there's a chance that Flim will spawn. Flim's basically a shop dealer, and can actually be very clutch in the later stages of the pit. He can have some very nice healing items, as well as just very nice items to purchase that will help clear out rooms faster. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as we go through. Reed has the final key. We'll be heading into room 10 here. Actually, heading into room 11, really. Manta is in room 12. As the enemies will ramp up and become more and more difficult. It's a very nice key there for Reed. So, you'll see a lot of runners kick shells and then flip into 3D. Shells can actually be really, really useful. all throughout the pit. There's certain shells, like Buzzy Beetle shells, which will actually not despawn at all. While Koopa shells, I believe both kinds will despawn. It can be very difficult and annoying to deal with. Despawns will... If the enemy that has the key despawns off screen, you have to clear out an entire room before the key will show up, which is very annoying. Manta with a nice key there. Reed also with a pretty decent key. So Manta's actually taking his time killing a bunch of enemies. Reed is catching up rapidly. As in, like, Reed's only about, like, a room or two behind here. Probably a room and a half, I'd say. These Schlorps, however, that you see on both runner screens can be big time losses. Does get a nice key there. The Schlorps can only be killed by Boomer. You have to feed them Boomer pretty much for them to die. Ideally, in any room that you see with Schlorps, you want to have them hopefully not have the key. But obviously it's never an 100% chance in the pit. It's a nice key there from Manta. I'll go ahead and do a refresh really quick. I believe Reed's only, I think he's only one room behind now. He's definitely catching up. The big thing to worry about right now is the levels, which Reed is clearing out a bunch more enemies. Manta should be good. I believe he's going into room, what is this, 18. Okay, he's one room away. He should get a level up here, I hope. Yeah, he definitely should be okay, I believe. Oh yeah, nice. Okay, he's got the level up. No need to worry about any of that. Besides finding the key, unfortunately just having bad RNG here in this room. Reed might end up having to worry about this though, we'll see. He's at 54, the level up that he needs to be at is 60k. He should be fine, he won't need it, he'll definitely have it by room 25, but room 19, which is the room that Manta's in right now, is the big worry. That Koopa Troll right up there is the enemy that we do not want to have the key at all. Which, thankfully, Manta does not have to worry about it. Hopefully Reed won't either. Very nice key. Gets Turtle Leaf. That item can actually be pretty useful. Reed is in room 18. I don't think he'll get the level up, unfortunately, but... Nice, at 57k. Manta is in room 21. This room, if you have a Fire Burst, you'll actually save a lot of time. Unfortunately, I don't think Manta does. Reed does get the key, gonna head into room 19. Manta is still chipping away at these Spinies, which can be very, very tedious. They take 2 Boomer hits if you don't have a Fire Burst. With a Fire Burst, you can pretty much kill them instantly, however. Hopefully one of these enemies has... the key? I hope he has it, please. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Okay, wait. Oh, my God. Clutch. Literally so clutch, dude. Let's go. Okay. He's out. He's out of room 19. I did not know that enemy was still up there. Thank goodness. Oh, my goodness. Okay. If that Koopa Troll had the key, Reed would have to... he'd be in a pretty tough situation. He'd have to use his Shell Shock and grab it a bunch of times with Thoreau over and over again to kill that Koopa Troll. However, he's good to go. He will use this Fire Burst right here. And he is a little low on HP, but the run is still alive. That's all that matters. And Reed should level up before room 25. Yeah, he definitely will. Gets a Mighty Tonic drop. That's very nice. Yeah, he'll definitely level up in this next room. Reed's heading into 22, Manta's in 24, only 2 rooms apart. The runs are still alive, you love to see it. Manta's dealing with some Sproings, while Reed is dealing with these boos, which are very annoying and have a bunch of iframes. For no reason whatsoever. But the strat here, as you can see, just have Boomer out and wait. Very nice. Manta actually having a really unfortunate room. Getting last key there, I believe. I believe Reed's only about a room and a half behind now. As Manta heads into 25. This is the enemy that I've been mentioning over and over. This Chain Chomp, if you're not at 60k, you can't kill him. Pretty much. That's what it comes down to. Thankfully, both runners are, so we won't have to worry about that. There we go. So this room is actually pretty tedious, and Manta's actually having a little bit some bad RNG here, which is unfortunate. Reed dealing with the Sproings, however. These daisies are probably some of the worst enemies in the entirety of the pit. Manta does have the key, though. And Reed they'll actually be in the same room for like half a sec. Oh, never mind. I can't tell what room is which. My bad. But Reed is definitely catching up. Fortunately, Manta got some tough RNG here. It does have to flip. Ideally, if you spawn, this room is just separated in half, pretty much. So if the key is on the other side, you're going to have to lose time by flipping. Reed with a very nice key. He's going to save a lot of time on Manta. He will have to do a pipe jump here, which for those of you who haven't seen it before, you just do that. Oh my goodness, that was... Dude, that was actually almost really bad, but Reed clutched it. That's really cool. So normally you want to jump on the side of that pipe, but unfortunately just pushed him out front, but was still able to save it. Very nice. That Jabba's room can be very annoying, but Manta actually had some pretty decent RNG there. Manta's heading into 31. Reed is going to be out going into 29, I believe. These Tyloid rooms can be very, very tedious. As you'll see throughout the pit, you'll see similar rooms. There will be a bunch more Tyloid rooms, but just with different colors of Tyloids. The green ones are the easiest. They are pretty slow moving and don't have that much health. However, the further we go into the pit, you'll see red ones and yellow ones, which are much more difficult. The Longinator rooms are also a pain. Bunch of Longinators here. You can lose a lot of time in these rooms. Gets a kind of a really nice point grind there. That is also something to keep track of. The next point level up for each runner will be at 90k. Manta is definitely closer to it. Reed still has ways to go, but just with clearing out so many enemies, we'll level up a lot all throughout the pit. Very nice key there for Reed. And a good key there for Manta as well. Reed is in room 32. Manta is in room 34. Very nice key there for Manta. Also a very nice key for Reed. Manta is still holding on to that 2-room lead. But again, that can change at any point. These enemies in particular, wow, Reed had a crazy good room there. He's actually catching up a lot. Only 1 room behind now. Manta does end up getting the key here. As we see our first Ninja room, which with great RNG, we'll have to look out for the health. It levels up at 90k. I don't know if he'll be able to send it because these rooms are about to get crazy difficult with a lot more damage done. Nice key there from Manta. Yeah, it's incredibly close. As the pit goes on, it will get even closer, I guarantee it. Manta's gonna go ahead and use that Shroom Shake. Definitely a good decision, in this room in particular. The Magic Koopas are just incredibly unforgiving. They will spawn those projectiles, and even if you kill them fast, they will not despawn, as you can see right here. And they do 3 damage. Incredibly unforgiving. Manta does end up getting the key. Reed in the ninja room gets the key. And still about only a 1-room lead for Manta, I believe. 39, and Reed should be in... Oh, he's in 37. Okay. Manta ends up getting the key here. And Manta will be heading into the 40s, into 41. I don't think we've seen a Flim spawn yet, but usually those will only be helpful like later in the pit, especially if you're low on heals. As we see our first Clubba room, one of the worst enemies in the pit. Because of the amount of damage that they do 3 damage, regardless if you get hit by the spear or not. Oh, he's got to heal. Okay, he's at 1 HP. That's unfortunate that he had to heal there because he's very close to a level up. He should get it soon, but unfortunately, just nothing you can do about it. The Clubbas are just so unforgiving. Reed does have the key here. We'll try and find the door. There we go. Manta gets the key. Kind of an unfortunate room, but that room can be way worse sometimes. I've seen it go at over a minute. That is something I haven't mentioned yet. If you look in the top right of both runners' screens, you'll see a little timer. Every single room that each runner goes into, that timer starts at 5 minutes and will count down. It's sort of how you can tell how good a room is. For example, Manta got a 454 right there, meaning it's a 6-second room. It's a very nice room. Anything closer to 30 seconds is not necessarily ideal, and anything over a minute is pretty bad. Depending on the room. Sometimes rooms are just unforgiving. It's a nice key for Manta, though. Does end up getting that 90k level up. Reed is right there as well. He should get this level up probably in the next room or two. Reed is going on to 41, which is the Clubba room. We'll see if he can have a good room here. The strat for these Clubbas is to do exactly what you see Reed doing. Just, if they're under a ledge, just duck jump while you're behind them. Oh, a Fire Burst drop. It's actually kind of useful. He's going to drop it, though. He does have 2 Fire Bursts already. Oh. We'll get rid of the Dried Shroom. That's a good decision. Alright, very nice. That's a good key for Reed. Gets another Fire Burst drop. He's going to go back and get it. Might as well. Probably going to drop... Yeah, the Cake Mix. If it will stay out of the inventory. Sometimes this game is unforgiving. More Tyloids here for Manta. The Pokey rooms can be very annoying. They throw really irritating projectiles, and later in the pit you'll see Poison Pokies, which are just not fun at all. It's a good key for Reed there, though. Oh. Manta's actually having some big trouble here in the Tyloid room. That might have been a last key. Having a minute-long room there. Reed is on the Koopa Striker room. That is room 43. Manta's in room 46. we'll flip into 3D and get all of these enemies to fall down. Of course, it's the one paratrooper that's up top here. That's tough. It's just sometimes RNG can just screw you over. Unfortunate. Reed with a nice key. He'll actually do a lock jump right here. Love to see these. You can land on the lock in 3D if you're on the left side of the room in 3D. It's really cool to see. Reed is on room 45. Manta is in the Cherbil room right here. These green Cherbils are poisonous. However, something about poisonous enemies is that they will, more than likely, I think it's a 100% chance, but I'm not sure, they'll almost always drop a heal, which is very nice. Very forgiving. Oop, dealing with some more Clubbas. You'll see about like 5 different Clubba rooms all throughout the pit, maybe even more. I don't know the exact amount, but they're all very irritating. Especially this one, though, because there's Magikoopas just tossing projectiles all over the place. Ooh. Reed actually might have... Oh, man, that shell despawned, I think. Okay, he's got one more enemy to kill up there. Manta will get out of the Clubba room. That enemy did have the key for Reed there, so he is out. Manta's on 49. We're getting to the halfway point. Through the pit. It will only get harder. He actually got a Thunder Rage drop there. That's incredibly nice. That is a huge help. A huge item to get right there. On, I believe it's room 98. There's a bunch of red chomps. Either an Ice Storm or a Thunder Rage will pretty much wipe out a really decent amount of those. It's a crazy good drop. This room that Manta's in right here, room 51, you can actually kick one of the Buzzy Beetles and set up a pretty decent point grind. Looks like Manta will be opting... Oh, and he made the right call. He didn't kick the shell, but he got the key. Just from one of the enemies up top there. Very nice. Gets a first key here in the Pigorhythm room. Very nice strat, landing on the pipe there. And going to have to take it. Unfortunately, you can get some pretty bad door spawns where it's just unforgiving. You have to take a pipe to get to it. There's a couple rooms that have that, especially later in the pit. Reed is on room 49. Manta's on room 53. There's actually a pretty decent lead right now for Manta, but all of that can change at any point. I'll go ahead and do a quick refresh here on both runners' streams. Some more Clubbas here for Manta. Clubbas and Dry Bones. These Dry Bones, I believe, take 2 hits with Boomer. Oh, maybe 1. Okay, there we go. Oh, never mind, it's 2. Okay. I just saw that incorrectly. So this is the strat I was talking about, which you see on Reed's screen. He's going to just let that shell ride all the way down the bottom of the screen. And by just continuing to let that shell hit a bunch of enemies, you can get a decent point level up. Which looks like there might be an enemy up top here. I'm not too sure. Oh yeah, there's 2 more. Okay, nice. Both runners are looking pretty good on points. The next level up is at 120k, I believe. That's a very nice key for Manta here. Manta is in the dark boo room. Essentially, these dark boos will fly towards you while in 3D, and then will pop back into 2D to scare you. They're actually not too bad to deal with, just by placing Boomer down and then jumping on their head as soon as they spawn in. It's a really good key there for Reedy. I think it was like a first key. Very nice. Oh yeah, the POW blocks, yeah, Sloth. Yeah, it's only, as far as I know, it's only Ice Storm and Thunder Rage I've seen. But there's just so many different enemies that or so many different items you can get all throughout the pit. You never know what can work and what won't. Okay, Reed is low health, will use a heal here. I think Manta got the level up at 120, very nice. Another Fire Burst. The game is feeding Reed some Fire Bursts right now, which is very good. Fire Burst can be used in a bunch of different rooms. Manta is on the Daisy room. Hopefully we don't see an Amazing Daisy here. We haven't so far in the tournament, as far as I know. There is the Amazing Daisy, and it does 10 damage! Oh my god. Okay, thankfully, Manta was not at low health because he just healed. That is... oh, it's unfortunate. It might actually have the key. I think it does. Oh, no! We see our first Amazing Daisy of the tournament. Manta is first going to heal. It's a good decision because at 10 HP, that thing can insta-KO. So we're going to see... oh, he's going to use the Thunder Rage. Does this work? It does not. Oh, man, that's unfortunate. It's gonna shoot another projectile. Oh my god! No way! Okay, okay. This thing is terrifying. Oh, that's very tough. Oh, I'm trying to grab it into a corner. Reed is just catching up right now. I believe this is room 58. Reed is in 56 right now. Oh, he almost had it. Oh man, this thing is so annoying. It will run away from you at any point. Whenever it detects you, like, running towards it. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. There we go. It does get the key, but an unfortunately slow room, and Reed is right back in this thing. Only 2 rooms apart now. Does get a nice key in this Magibot room, though. Good key for Reed. Gonna do a lock jump. Oh, just barely missed. Does get a Flim spawn here on Manta's screen. Will opt to probably end up just buying a POW block. Interesting. Yeah, really unlucky. Reed is in the Daisy room right now. Oh, and he gets a very nice key. That's a very fast key and just saved a lot of time on Manta just by having a 10-second room there. That's incredible. These Magiblots, while they're pretty easy to kill, getting hit by their projectiles is ruthless. Depending on what color they are, they can do 4 to 6 damage to you. And it can, it's crazy. It can just rack up damage easily. So Reed is now in the 60s, in 61 here. These boom boxers, if you use Boomer, they'll get stunned for a small amount of time. And Reed is actually going to be in the same room as Manta. Just an incredible amount of time saved in that Daisy room. Manta will get out first, though. Does have to deal with one of the worst rooms in the game, in my opinion. These Boomerang Bros and Clubbas. Just a bunch of projectiles and a bunch of Clubbas. Not a good recipe. And unfortunately, the Clubbas are not facing the ideal direction. Takes 3 damage. Reed is having some tough RNG though in this Dry Bones room. Okay, Manta does get the key. Very nice. He'll be out, and Reed will be entering the room he is leaving right now. So still about a room apart. This is still anyone's match. We got about 40, a little under 40 rooms to go. Ooh, a block. Okay. I don't actually know like where the best spot for that is, but those items actually aren't that bad. It's kind of useful. So these are the Tyloids I was talking about earlier. That the yellow ones are just extremely fast. It's very difficult, and I believe the Tyloids that are on the ceiling, they're actually in the same room right now. With Manta having some tough RNG here, we'll see if Reed can catch up. Manta does get the key. Reed is closer to the door, though. We'll see. Fortunately, that Tyloid is just being relentless. Oh my goodness. Hate to see that. This room is a bit of a break here for Manta. Just 2 enemies here. Too bad Tyloid rooms for both runners here. Oh man, last key. Hate to see that. Manta is, wow, he got a really good key there. Any ninja room is going to be pretty painful. Unfortunately, just getting bullied by these enemies he can't get through. Oh my goodness, he took a lot of damage there. Reed is at 5 health, Manta's at 7. Both, I believe, the next level up is at 160k, so they're both pretty far away right now. We'll probably end up having to use a heal at some point. Reed is 1 room behind. Gets a first key as well. Wow. 2 good rooms from both runners there. These Longinators, hopefully... Manta's not going for the jump. We'll just flip into 3D and gets there. Very nice. These Hammer Bros in particular are very dangerous, especially if they're at the top of the rooms. They can just toss projectiles on top of you, pretty much. Reed is going to use a Shell Shock here. He's going to kick it, flip, and use what I believe is his last heal. He might have one more, but I didn't actually catch that. Unfortunately, the Shell Shock despawned there. Manta does end up getting the key. Nice key for Reed there as well. Oh, Reed used it on accident. He meant to use the heal. That's tough. Oh, does Reed still have heal? That's good. Actually, a really nice strat from Manta, just letting that Koopa Striker shell just take out that whole bottom floor there. Good key for Reed as well. Manta heading into the 70s with a bit of a lead here. However, Reed is not that far behind. He's in room 69 right now. Manta's in 71. It's an Ice Storm. That's very good. Wow. Okay, so using that Thunder Rage on the Daisy actually worked out in the end. Still has another item to use for late in the run. Flim spawn here for Reed. We'll see what he buys. Yeah, he's gonna get the Ice Storm. It's a very nice item to get. And then he'll probably pick up another heal, we'll see. Manta's in the Cursia room where you can pretty much just flip into 3D and they'll all fall to the ground. Gets a Honey Jar drop. It's very nice. I think that's 7 HP, if I remember correctly. Very nice key from Manta. That room can be pretty difficult sometimes. especially those enemies flip into 3D and stay there. Manta is pretty close to 160. Oh, he's gonna get hit by that projectile there. That's unfortunate. Does get the key, though. That's a very good key in the rough puff room here. He's only about 3k away, I believe, from another level up. Actually, more like 2k. Gets a Shroom Shake drop. It's very nice. Oh. And gets the level up. Very nice. Nicely done. A bunch of poison shrooms spawning for Reed. Manta's on the boomboxer room. Reed is only one room behind, I think. Or maybe two. These enemies can be very difficult since they can just flip in between 2D and 3D at any point. Manta does end up getting the key here in that boomboxer room. We'll be heading into room 77. I believe Reed is in room 75. And he's going to use a heal here. Wow, Manta had a really good key in that MantaPlant room there. And I'll get a quick refresh here if I can. There we go. Okay. So Reed is in that boomboxer room now. Manta is getting some really good keys. Back to back right here. This is actually some really nice RNG for Manta, I think. Throughout most of the... outside of the Daisy room. Reed's going to set up for the lock jump. Looks like he will get it here. Very nice. That lock jump actually saves a lot of time in that room, because normally you have to go all the way around. Manta's also in the same situation here. I think he'll have to go all the way around. I don't know if you can make that lock jump. Just an unfortunate door spawn. Reed's on the MantaPlant room here. We'll kill a bunch of them in a row. Did get the level up. That's very nice to see. I think he still has one more heal in his inventory. Reed does. Okay, 42nd room there for Manta. And Manta will be going into the last 20 rooms. While Reed is in 78. Pigarithms are not being nice at all. Okay, there. Does get a Mighty Tonic drop. It's very nice. Mighty Tonic will be very good to use throughout the later levels here in the pit, especially in the 80s. 80s have been, I think a lot of runners agree, it's some of the worst rooms that you can get in this game. Or at least in this, in Flipside Pit. Manta's in another MantaPlant room. Gonna try and kill these squigs here. Unfortunately, he'll have to go for the MantaPlants. These red ones in particular do 7 damage. Or, no, excuse me, 6 with projectile. Hopefully we won't have to see that. Manta's in a fuzzy and cherble room. Reed is also entering the 80s. I believe Manta is in 83, I think this is. Reed's in 81 right now. Does end up getting the key. Alright, Manta's in 84. So it's going to be about 2 rooms ahead here. This room in particular that Manta's in can be a major time loss. As you see, these Schlorps will take 2 hits with Boomer. Ideally, you want to have, you want to kill the the Spinies first, but Manta's actually just going to opt to kill these Schlorps instead, as Reed enters 82 here. And does end up getting the key. Both runners actually get the key. Alright. This room right here has a bunch of poison pokies that Manta will just have to run away from. They are incredibly difficult to deal with. Oh, and he's right next to one. Okay. He should be good. He got a very fast key there. Just gonna get out. Those poison pokies, even though they do drop heals, they're very annoying. Okay, this room in particular, I imagine he's gonna use the Mighty Tonic. Yep, very nice. This room's probably the best one to use it, with a bunch of Koopa Trolls all around, as well as Magiblots. I'll give a quick refresh here on Manta's stream. Okay, I did not mean to do that. What is happening here? Looks like I'm dropping a lot of frames. I'll try to fix this. A bunch of splicing, oh no. No, it's definitely on my end. For some reason, my Twitch players, I think they need to be refreshed. Here, I might just do that really quick. Okay, yeah. Alright, looking better. Of course I get an ad, I'd love to see that. I'll put Reed's thing back up as soon as I can. Splicing %. No, it's just on my end. My PC is having a moment. Love to see that. Oh, there we go. Should be over in just a second here. Alright, we're back. Okay. So Reed is in the Koopa Troll room, 4 HP, does get a pretty decent key here. Manta does get the level up. Reed is on his way to getting the level up, he has 1 HP. Gotta use the honey jar. Believe that's the last heal. I know Manta still has at least one more heal. Oh, these Koopa Trolls are just being relentless, doing 3 damage every hit. I think Manta's pretty decent ways ahead, but it's still not over. Actually, I don't know. Manta might be... They might only be one room apart, as far as I know. Unless Manta's already in the 90s and I missed it. I don't know if Manta got to the... He might not be, actually. I don't know. We'll see. Reed ends up getting the key. Yeah, okay, this is 89. They're only one room apart. I believe Reed is going into 88. So Manta's going to use this Shell Shock and hopefully follow it all the way to the left. Or else it might despawn. Okay, nice. Gets to the egg, which is a really nice drop here. And we'll just pretty much get a free level up, I think. Just with the amount of points that Shell Shock does. Love to see that. Reed is at 2 HP, does have a heal though. Manta only has a life stream now. Ooh, interesting. These ninjas are being relentless. Manta's going into the last 10. The 90s are still very difficult. However, I think both runners still have Ice Storm, so they won't have to worry about 98 for the most part, hopefully. Hopefully we see a key. Oh, that's going to lose some time for Manta. Fortunately, we'll have to go and kill this enemy right here. Reed is going to go into 89. Hopefully... Actually, no, he doesn't have the Shell Shock. He has a bunch of Fire Bursts that he can use, I think. Or Thunder Rage. Thunder Rage will work. And we'll get a level up off of this as well. Ooh. Manta having some tough troubles here with the ninjas. Reed with another heal drop. Does get the key, very nice. Manta is still dealing with these ninjas. In 92 right now, I believe. Reed is in 91. Having a really tough time on 92. Reed could actually potentially catch up here. I think Manta has a last key here. Okay, nice. They're going to be in the same room here. Manta does have the key. If Reed gets some good RNG, we could actually see a potential comeback here. It has been Manta's lead through the entirety of the pit so far, but they are just one room apart. Manta does get a first key, though. That is insane. The luck has been on Manta's side for a lot of this match. Still not over yet. Manta doesn't get the key here, which he unfortunately does not. He'll have to drop down, and we might lose a little bit of time on the door. Reed is still in the ninja room, just trying to find the key. Does get it. They will actually be in the same room here. Manta still does not have the key. He has a lot more enemies that he's killed. Okay, never mind. Sorry, they're still one room apart. I forgot again. Gets a catch card. Okay, Manta does have the key. Heading out, I believe, into 95, I think. And gets a first key here. Wow. Getting a first key in this room is insane. A 4-second room in 95. That's unbelievable. 96, Manta trying to find the enemies. It's a bunch of Fire Bros, Hammer Bros, Boomerang Bros. Gets another first key? I can't believe what I'm seeing! Wow. We will have to go all the way around on 97 here. Reed is in 94, I believe. Manta gets past the toughest room and goes into 98. Still has an Ice Storm that he can use here, which is nice. Reed is at 2 HP with 1 enemy remaining. Just an unfortunate room. Manta didn't get the key there, unfortunately. Reed might be going for Super Boomer here, actually. Oh, maybe not. Power Stake, that's a really good drop. Manta does end up getting the key. Going into the final room of the pit. Just a bunch of Magiblots. It's looking like this could be GG's. We'll see. Oh yeah, he gets pretty much a first key. Yeah. Alright, Manta is out. On to Racktail. It's technically still not over. Racktail is completely unpredictable. Reed is at 1 HP right now. Having to deal with these Boomerang Bros. Yep, we'll use the Power Stake. That'll give a 15 HP. That's very nice. So Racktail is pretty unpredictable. The enemies on top of Racktail's head will do 10 damage. Which is pretty insane. And you can also, sometimes, when you're switching to Peach, fall through. It's surprisingly not that hard to fall through. Oh, the key lantern on the pipe there for Reed. Reed's about 2 rooms out now. Yeah, Manta's actually going to use the big egg. It's a smart decision. Reed will hopefully get the key here from one of these 3. Yeah, this is looking like if Manta has a good rack tail, it will be a GG. Fortunately, just both runners actually got trolled by the red chops there. That's unfortunate. Yeah, you don't actually see that too often. It's pretty unlikely. Manta will take 3D damage and is up on rack tail. I assume Manta's just going to use... I think he has a Fire Burst here. Going to switch to Peach immediately. Twitch is awesome. Hang on, let me refresh. There we go. Okay, yeah, he's just going to use the Fire Bursts, which Reed will likely do the same. Yep, another Fire Burst. And then from here, it's just getting both floating over with Peach 2 times in a row. Getting the jump is incredibly important. Have to be on the left side. We'll float over with Peach. Gets the first set. Can jump 10 times on the antenna. And with one more Peach float, it should be GG's here. Floats over. Hits the antenna 10 times, and that is it. GG's to Manta. That was a really incredible race. GG's to both runners. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, Reed just got hit by Ragtail. That boss is so unforgiving for no reason. Yeah, unfortunately just doing 10 damage. But hey, GG's to both runners. Manta getting Dashel here. Finishing up. And that is it. A 138.41. I'll check the actual time. 138.44. Okay. GG's to both runners. Yeah, that was actually a very stressful race. Manta ended up having, overall, some pretty decent RNG, but had a bunch of rooms where they were over a minute long. Unfortunately, the game was doing the exact same thing to Reed. It's unfortunate to see. GG's to both runners, and Reed is not out of the tournament yet. Reed will be heading over to loser's bracket, and here, let me put in the score right here. Oops. There we go. Okay, Manta will be moving on to play Stevie, and Reed will play the loser of Phantom versus either Slopdop or TCB Trio. So Reed will have another shot in losers round 2. Definitely not out of it yet. I can still see Reed making a massive run in losers. Again, you gotta think, Reed caught all the way back up, even throughout into the pit, was pretty much like in the same room at certain times, and Reed didn't get LSJ and lost a lot of time from that. So you can only imagine how fast one of those runs can be if he does get LSJ early on. It's pretty insane to think about. But yeah, GG's to both runners. Thank you all for watching. Yeah, that's pretty much it.